purpose of this tutorial is to give you some warm-ups to use with your fingerstyle playing. When you're changing chords or fingerings with your left hand and also doing some intense movements with your right hand, it's a good idea to daily work on ways to synchronize those two hands together. And so we'll start with a progression of movements as we go through the different segments of this video. And the first thing we'll look at is playing just chords with your right hand, where we're just striking through strings using P, I, M, and A. That's your thumb, your index, middle, and ring fingers. And you can consult the fingerstyle tutorial for how that works with assigning fingers to strings. But as we go through this, we're trying to get a consistent sound. So that's just a good relaxing way to start your fingerstyle playing. And whether you've got no nails or fingernails, or even some people use acrylic hardener like I do on my fingers if you're a fingerstyle player, all of these exercises work just fine. So you can start out by just playing one chord, but that can get a little boring after a while, and also your hand can get a little tired of holding one thing with your left. So we can go through a chord progression, something like this. And you can just keep repeating that, but going through a chord progression can make it a little more interesting. So what we've tried to do here is run through a chord progression that's a little bit indicative of maybe some classical guitar pieces or etudes that you might play. The first thing that we're starting with is part of an A minor chord, and so we've just got the thumb on the 5th string and the rest of the fingers on the top strings. We add a B to the bottom of that chord on the 5th string, then a C, then going to a D minor chord, so now we're hitting the top 4 strings, and then going to part of an E major, so we're hitting the open 6th and then the top 3 strings, changing that to an E7 by adding the 4th finger to the 3rd fret there on the 2nd string, and then back to an A minor, and then adding the 4th finger to the 3rd fret of the 4th string to make an F major 7, going to the 2nd fret of the 4th string to make an A minor over E, and then ending with a C note to make an A minor over C, and then we can repeat it. So you can just go through that and get familiar with the changes in the right and left hands, and you can play it as slow as you need to, and gradually it'll smooth out and give you a more consistent sound with your right hand.
Hi, this is Giles Martin here at Abbey Road Studio 2, talking about Blackbird. Blackbird was recorded for the White Album on Tuesday the 11th of June 1968 in this room here. If you listen to Michel, actually, fun enough, he started playing this, and yesterday he started combining bass notes with his strums at quite an early time. You know, it's a cool thing to play, because when you're playing it, it will, you know, it's that thing you forget that it's actually a song.
Singing in the dead of night, take these sunken eyes and learn.